Uppy, uppy, uppy. You know the rest. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
It's such a small town. So if you're walking, people just be like, "Do you want to ride?" It's like they don't need Uber. They
what?
just have.
What?
They just pull over. They give you a honk,
No.
and they're like, "We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever."
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
What's outside your Puerto de Clima?
That's Stella! Yeah!
Hi everybody, it's Janine from New Jersey, and this is my grandson Jacob. He's in the baby pool, and it's so hot out here, I'm about to get in there myself. Hope everyone had a safe and happy holiday weekend. Now it's time for Uppy Uppy Uppy, One Funny Morning, with our host, Dina Blizzard. Hi Jacob.
Good morning. Good morning, Janine and Jacob. Good morning, everybody. I have on I'm not sick. This is just my face shirt. Oh, look who had a late night. It's too bright in here. What's happening? Oh, wrong way. Hold on. It's too much. It's too much. I want to go back to bed. Who's not ready for today? Good morning. Good morning. I know. Overland Discovery Group. Good morning, Overland Discovery Group. Where are you from? It's a beautiful morning here on Thursday. How's the eviction going? No. It's not going well, and I'm super tired. I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm still in bed, Sarah. I should still be in bed. All right. Last night I was in New York. That's funny. I look like that, and I didn't have a late night. That's funny. So last night was Jacqueline's Ladies of Laughter competition up in New York. And watching as I get ready for an interview. Ooh, are you hungover? I wish I was. Do I feel hungover? Absolutely. Did I have anything to drink? Not a drop. Nothing. I look exactly the same, and I slept, Dina. Really? You didn't go to bed at 2 a.m? Mark, my hair is doing whatever it wants to do, and I don't really have a name for it. So, listen, I needed that shirt this morning. I'm telling you. I was like, I know exactly what shirt I'm wearing today. So last night, we were running around at 6 o'clock. So now we were supposed to meet here at 6 to head to New York. And I tell Diana all the time, I'm like, hey, don't forget. Yeah, you need to be up here. So I said, all right, don't forget. Do you have to wash your curly hair every day? No, Sarah. This is probably day 3 of just kind of wetting it and going like this and going, I don't know that this is the best day. I have to get a haircut later today. So, telling you, let me unpack the story for you. So we had to go to New York at a club called Rodney's, which was formerly Dangerfields, which I imagine was formerly Rodney Dangerfields. And so I say to Diana, we're leaving at 6 o'clock. Here's Diana's response. Great. You'll pick me up at 6:25. Now, New York is that way. Diana's that way. I said, what are you talking about? Diana, I'm leaving at 6 o'clock going this way. How am I going to get you at 6:25? She goes, oh, I thought this time was Philadelphia. I said, no. She goes, well, I'm not going to go. It's too late. And I thought, it is too late. You should stay home. So we drive up. Then we get halfway up the turnpike, which is a big road here. And Dean was driving, so I had some work to do. And I go in, we stop at a rest stop. It's our favorite thing to do in New Jersey. You can't go on a trip with New Jersey if you don't stop at a rest stop. It's just part of what we do. We stop at this rest stop. It's kind of nice. They redid them. They look lovely. I go to the bathroom. And have you guys noticed the bathroom locks are all changing? They're very European. In Europe, they don't have the latch that goes this way. You guys know what I'm talking about? They have a latch. Instead of the latch going this way, that's what she said, the latch just does this. I know it's stupid. This is a dumb conversation, but it was a new latch and it wasn't working right. So I am in the bathroom trying to hit it so I can, I'd end up locked in. Well, that's essentially what happened. So at one point, I have to hit it. And I go about my day. Whatever. Troy, it either... You look like you never had a bed head, not a hair out of place. Troy, I think the whole head is out of place. And you're just like, that's just who she is. And it works. Either way, by the time I get to the snack area, there's blood all down my arm. I'm like, was I in a street fight in the bathroom? With this hair, I just don't know. Says bleeding all over. And I was like, this looks pretty deep. Then I come out of the bathroom bleeding profusely. And everybody was like, what happened to you? I said, I think I got into a fight in the bathroom. This feels like a never-ending story because it is. Let me put it to you this way. It ended roughly 5 hours ago. So we get up to New York. Show was supposed to be at 9. Show doesn't start till 10 something because there's a show right before. And now it's so hot in the club. I was like, let's go stand outside. So if it's 98 degrees in the club, it's 96 outside. And we were like, let's go get some relief. That's how hot it was. So now we're all standing outside and we're like, you know what would make this better? A thunderstorm. So now we're all under the awning at Rodney's with a whole bunch of people that I don't know. And I don't, to be honest, I don't care to know. I don't care. So now we're in the lobby. It's mayhem. You're like a sardine. And I was like, I don't like this at all. I was like, I think this is why I became a comedian. I don't like to stand in line. In my opinion, I would much rather be on stage bombing, telling jokes, than standing in the tuna can with everybody else like this. Yeah. Well, then at one point we finally get inside and I was like, I'm going to run to the bathroom. I go downstairs. It's like a cellar in New York. I go downstairs. I turn the corner. I make the last step down. I step into a puddle of water. And when I say puddle, I don't mean puddle. I mean the whole basement is flooded. And I was like, it's so gross here. I need to go back home. I did. It was a whole thing. Then it was a comedy competition. Jacqueline did a great job. But to be fair, when you get there, everybody has to pull a number out. So there were 10 girls in the amateur category. Jacqueline picked number 1. I dropped her off at the club so I can go park. And by the time I came back, she was like, I picked number 1. I was like, that's the best one. No, Laurie, I'm not. But she did great. She went up. She had her little overalls on. She looked adorable. She's very funny. I was like, she's the best one. And then the show just went on. When your daughter's the first one up, then there's 18 more people to watch. And we did. And they were good. We had a fine night. But there were definitely here's how you know you're a comedian and you have a problem. There were people in the audience getting on my nerves so bad, and in my mind I kept thinking, I cannot wait to talk to them once I get on stage. And then I was like, wait a minute, I can't tell them off. If I tell them off by sitting next to them, then I'm a mean person. But if I was on stage telling them off, I'd be hilarious. So I didn't. Then at some point, we're sitting there, and the comedian, the host, this girl, Regina, who's hilarious. At some point, Regina goes up, and Regina's doing her set. She's very funny. And she goes, let me hear it from my married people. And I go like this. Oh, wait, I'm not. But I acted all that out just like that with my face. So she was like, let's hear it for the married people. I was like, woo! Wait, that's weird. I can't clap there anymore. And the people next to me were like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't clap there anymore. It was real weird. Dean's like, what are you doing? I don't know. It's just happened. And then later on, somebody's like, where are my single people? I was like, oh, that's me. That's me, y'all. I don't know where to clap. That was the first time that happened. I'm not usually in the audience. So I don't usually like respond like this. So it's just, I was like, wait, is that me now? But Regina was like, how do you mess that part up? That's like saying, let's hear it from my blondes. I'm like, yeah. Wait, I'm not blonde. Like that. What are you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, Renee, you're just like, I'm in a different. Then here's another thing I don't get. Have you been to the doctors lately? If you go to the doctors and it says marital status, it got a lot more confusing. Do you guys know this? Here's what it says. You're like, Tina, how can it be this confusing? Let me tell you. I had the cutest dream about you last night. You're planning my wedding. Oh, Jennifer, I'd love to. What is it? Are you getting? So I'll plan it. Do you want to do it in Vegas? Okay. So when I went for PT the other day, yo, Lula. You guys heard that fart, right? Dog fart. Hey, Tracy. Anyway, here are the options you get now when you go for marital status. Married. I was like, got it. That makes sense. Separated. And I checked that box for a while. Divorced. And I was like, all right, we moved one box over. Unmarried. What? Single. Did you hear all? I was like, how many of these am I supposed to? I don't know. Yeah. She did. It's very weird. It's very weird. Yeah. I was like, am I divorced or unmarried or single? I don't know. I don't know, Diane. Yeah. It's a complicated. There should be. It's very funny. I don't know, Rebecca. I sat there like a dum-dum. I was like, would you say, do I look like unmarried? Do I look single? Or do I look divorced? What are you getting from me, Vi? You know what I mean? It is. Yeah. No, you're right, Edward. I think there was like widower. If you are remarried, what do you check? Then you just write married. Yeah. I don't know. I know. I'm going to check them all. I'm all of them. Oh, wait. Did you guys read this article? Hold up wait a minute. I sent this to myself. This was in the New York Times yesterday. Let me find it. Sometimes I send things to myself and then I never find them again. No. I thought I sent it to myself. Hold on, give me a minute. It was an interesting article that I can no longer find. Let me try to pull it up here. So the article was about, it was in the New York Times, and it was about two women who are living, hold on, maybe it's in like the life section, relationship section. That's not a section anymore. You know what? Sometimes my producer is awful, and by that I mean me. Hold on. I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing. Look, this is my thinking face. Don't look at it. It's not attractive. Nope. 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 Okay, either way, let me just tell you the gist of the article since I'm not going to find it. But the basic gist was that they're starting to see more and more women specifically who are deciding to marry each other, but they're not lesbians. That these two women, I don't know if they're saying that it's a trend, but they're saying that these two women had been friends for years, for their whole life. And they had really come to be like each other's person, like somebody they could rely on. I don't remember if they had children or not. But yeah, there was insurance reasons that were involved. There were rights of survivorship that were involved. Yeah, like a soulmate. And they were saying that, you know, when people discuss finding your soulmate, it's always under the umbrella of that being a relationship between a man and a woman, or sexual partners. I think that's a better way of saying it. Because these two women had met in grad school, had gone and lived lives, but they just kept finding that they kept coming back together, whether it was for work or friendship or whatever. They ended up living together. And they say, you know, they say we're not lesbians. We have separate rooms. The only women I know that live together are lesbians. Well, that's what they said. They said everybody that knows us and knows our situation believes that we're lesbians, and there's no convincing them otherwise. And they're like, listen, you can think whatever you want. They both self-identify as asexual. And I read it. Was it this? Yes. Thank you, Gigi. Let me see if I can copy this. Hold on. Hold on. Gigi, can you just put that by itself in the thing? Because I don't even know if I can copy. I don't think I can. Never mind. I can't copy it. Beth Moore, best friend's wedding. There you go. Beth Moore, best friend's wedding, NYT. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you, Gigi. All right. So after 32 years of platonic friendship, Sherry and Beth decided to marry for the security and legal protection. And so it goes on to say that they've been bonded forever. They're both 54. They had TV shows in common that they both loved. Of course, they're from New Jersey. You know, we got to be different. But she might herself. I mean, I kind of told you the gist of the story. They love going to games together. They said their self-described tragically codependent relation more closely resembled the inevitable iconic cinematic friendship between Romeo and Michelle from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. It says they sometimes say they're in a Boston marriage, a 19th century term used to describe a household with two women who live together independently of men or male support. Boston marriage has often been used as a euphemism for lesbian couples, which presumed that all women who lived together were romantically and sexually involved. But like Miss Cole and Miss Moore, that wasn't true, but they definitely were living on their own terms and shattering heteronormative conventions. So it was just kind of this interesting new thing. And I guess, it's kind of a take on Golden Girls, right? I mean, that whole premise was that these women were all kind of on their own and decided to come together to kind of pool their resources, but then took it to the next level to get married because maybe perhaps one has better insurance than the other. And back in a small town, the term was two old maids. Yeah, I've heard that. So it's just interesting if these Boston marriages start to become a thing. My thing, like, listen, do you, if if I could find a nice lady with some health insurance who wants to live in the basement, Missy, you seem nice. I mean, I know you're with somebody. So my husband is gone. I want to live with girlfriends. We'd all get along, each have a job, and it would work. Mm-hmm. Exactly. They're each other's person. If there's a medical issue, yeah. But it was just very cool, I think, that there is kind of this idea that it's called their show is called The Hallway. That it has to be a man and a woman, or now we're being a little bit more progressive and we have more homosexual couples. But what about couples who are just getting married for the benefits? And the crazy thing is, there are some people who are in heterosexual or homosexual relationships who are choosing not to get married because of all the red tape that comes with it. Like in some scenarios, like taxes, healthcare. Yeah. Judy's like, I can be there next week. Judy, you are my type. You're a little short for me, but I think we can work through it. I might be a little tall for you. She's like, you know what? Sometimes I have to just let go of norms, Dina. I know. Mm-hmm. I'm in Boston. I have a lot of single besties. We've all talked about getting a place together in our later years. Yeah. Yeah. But I wonder if it only works if you have a Blanche and a Rose and a Dorothy. Mm-hmm. So they married, but they date other people. No, in the article, it says that they are both asexual. They have zero interest in dating anybody else. They have zero interest in dating men or women otherwise. And they are just interested in being there for each other. Yeah, exactly. I can reach all the stuff on the top shelf, and Judy can get all the stuff that's under the cabinets that it's just too hard. Mm-hmm. I'll be your three's company. Oh my gosh, what a fun little quirky group we would be. Joey, Joe, and Judy and I. But I just thought it was interesting, and I love that the New York Times covered it, because I do think, I'm going to be straight up, my healthcare is going to change dramatically next year. And I'm going to say something. It's not going to be good. It's going to be a thing. So, listen, I'm going to take applications. I don't know. I don't know what my second wedding would be like. So it was an interesting article. Has anybody ever considered marrying somebody, or like, I mean, it has to be mutual. Like we all know I'm marrying you for your health insurance or for a living situation. Like, does anybody here have like kind of an interesting living situation, or marriage situation that just works for you that might not be like conventional, or like people in your family? Do you have to live together? Well, I think that's one of the benefits. I think that all of it comes down to, yeah, friend with health benefits. It's different. It's different. Like you can just go up to girls and be like, girl, I love your hair. Do you have Etna? You know, like Kate and Allie, remember? Yeah. Mm-hmm. A much more of a fun sister wives things, but without the man. Mm-hmm. Athena, I'm also really good at the laundry. I don't want to brag. Mm-hmm. My third marriage was for convenience. Still didn't work out. I do. I think it's a perfectly reasonable thing to do, said Missy. I agree. Missy, I'm glad you feel that way. So, okay. Because you're in my group. Mm-hmm. I married for health insurance when I was pregnant with our first child. Mm-hmm. My cousin married his longtime girlfriend for insurance, but they live in separate houses. Yeah. If you don't have to live together, I would do it now. Interesting. Robin, we're in a bit of a holding pattern with the basement. I've said my sister likes being married, but always says she would love to live in separate houses from him. I would marry you for the laundry benefits. You can fold the fitted sheets. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's technically evicted, Robin, but I'm leaving for a bit tomorrow for corporate, so I'll be gone for that week. Jacqueline says she has a place for Dean to live in August, and I was like, let's just move him tomorrow. But they are making plans for New York, and I was like, I'm gonna love it in New York. I'm gonna live in the closet. In a bag, so that their stuff can't touch me. I heard of a divorced marriage. Two women get divorced and move in together in order to handle life together after a divorce, rather than be lonely and struggling in this economy. But they don't necessarily get married, yet it's not labeled as a roommate situation. My cousin started dating a man who remained married to his first wife because they had to support his daughter's insurance. I would settle for separate bedrooms, but my own house sounds amazing. I would live in a different house than hubby so I can keep my house clean. Dean is essentially a squatter. Jacqueline went home last night, but she did a great job. It was nice. We had a nice night. Dean was just funny. Oh my gosh, Deanna, that was a funny video. A couple of my girlfriends, one has COVID, two have COVID. And I kept telling them, I was like, I know you have a lot of time on your hands. You should go watch the Saturday video. A lot of fun. I got married after many years together, divorced 1 year later. Can't say I'll marry again. Angie, how long did you guys date before you got married? And why do you think it only lasted a year? You hear that story so often. You know, there was an article that said in relationship, this was years ago, that there's a magical time to get married. That depending on when you get married is a pretty good indicator of how long your marriage will last. And it was like, if you get married between like 18 months and 36 months into the relationship, that the chances of your marriage, now mind you, all marriages have them and a divorce. So the statistics are against all of us. It's better. But if you get married less than a year or you were together for 7, the chances it lasts, not good. I told my ex I'd be willing to stay married so he could keep using my insurance. Is that what you did, Alejandra? Yeah. I told me I was looking for a friend that either has a beach house or a pool. Girl, you're not wrong. Now that I'm renting out my beach house because that's who I am. That's how I afford it. Now I'm saying to Carrot, I was like, Carrot, you got some room at your house? Mm-hmm. We had a 5-year engagement, and I'm still hanging around. Celebrating 32 years today. We got married in less than a year and just celebrated 30 years. Debbie, I have heard that. There's a lot of people. It's amazing to me. Like Jane and Shane, I think that they got married in like less than 6 months or something. I've been engaged for almost 3 years, and we've been together for 8 years. I was a runaway bride years ago, so struggle with the whole getting married thing. We're in our 40s and it works well for us, but I've always had to explain to everyone why we aren't married. So Janice, do you plan, so you're just engaged and you guys will just stay that way? And that's the thing is I think is so crazy. Like if you're both fine with that, can both of you just put each other on your insurance? Like we've been together for 7 years. Why do we? Health insurance is just such a thing. We married after 4 months of dating, 27 years later, dated 9 years, still married 34 years. I'm a widow. Remarriage is not an option. It's about the money. What does that mean, chocolate lab lover? Like you want to protect your money or what does that mean? I'm going to need you to unpack it. Mm-hmm. Dated my husband for 10 months before we married, 45 years and counting. Dated 7 years. We've been married for 38. Got married after 21. After meeting for 5 months earlier, married 43. My ex and I dated 7 years before we got married. It did not last at all. All right, so here comes Angela. I knew my husband for 5 years as friends. We dated 9 months. Got engaged, married 7 months after that. Oh, no, this is a different person. Been married 23 years. We were together 7 years, then got married. He was cheating, so I had to go. It was that, Angie. Angie, why would he wait 7 years and then start cheating on you when he got married? Do you think he was doing it before? My thing is, if you don't want to get married, if you don't want to be married, just say it. Why you gotta go around? Dated 6 months, got engaged, married 30 years. My bestie's daughter's pregnant with a guy she met a few months ago. They're getting married. Is that a good idea? I don't know. My wife says we've been married for 10 years. I have no clue. Wow. When I divorced a couple years ago, it was too darn expensive for me to live alone. So me and my 2 sons, 23, 24, leased together. We are roommates. So much easier splitting rent 3 ways. Wow. Anita, can you convince Dean to do that? Mm-hmm. My neighbor is married. Her husband lives in his own house. I've been married twice. The first one, 19 years. Second one, 2.5 years. We're still very good friends, but couldn't live together. Now I've been with somebody 18 years, engaged 7 years. That piece of paper ruins everything. Wow. Met in high school, married after 5 years. Never dated other people. Really, Cooley? Yes, and my late husband's money. Chocolate lab lover. She's not playing. She's like, listen, you can hang around, but this ain't. No. Chocolate lab lover. What if you found somebody that had more money than you, chocolate lab lover? Would you marry then? So that girl, let me think about it. That girl be a lot of money. I wish I had this problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Won't remarry as get widow benefits at 60 years of age. Won't lose that. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around too. Yeah. Kathy, we were married within a year, together 29, married 28. In Canada, common law is as legal as marriage after 1 year. Oh, that would change a lot of things. So if you were living in the house, Judy, in Canada with somebody for 1 year, then they have access. Let me ask you this. Let me just clarify, Judy, in Canada. So say I came to Saskatoon. It's just like, Dina, you've already been here once. You basically live here. So if I came to Saskatoon, I live with you for a year. Now we're married. You were a nurse, so obviously you have good health care. I would get your health care. But if you died, would I have your right of survivorship automatically, or you'd have to put that in the will? Like, break it down for me. Because I feel like Chocolate Lab Lover, that's what she's talking about. She's like, listen, I don't want his hands in my pockets. I always think of common law as like, this person can speak for me medically. This person can. But I got just a roommate in the basement. I don't know her. I don't want her making my pull the plug. I'll be like, I don't really know her. She just moved in. Dated 9 years, now married 19 years. Lisa calls, I'll be moving into her room. Anne-Marie, really? You're lying. What? I'd like to have a relationship like Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Never married, but still together for 41 years. I agree. Only 8 states recognize common law marriage. Dated 2 years, married 30. Second marriages are better. Wow. I know a couple who dated for 5 years, got married, divorced within 5 months. Yeah. Chocolate. Yeah, Chocolate Lava. He got more money than me. All right, I'm in. Sign me up. Sign me up. Now let me ask you this. Would you get married? We do need finance, Michelle. Would you get married? Common law have the same obligation as the regular marriage in such things as having to be divorced, child, custody, etc. I started dating my ex when we were 22 and 21. We were together 36 years, married 32, divorced 6. We probably should have never gotten married, hindsight. We have three great kids, so I'm okay with it. He does all the things he's supposed to, and we have evolved into a good friendship. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah. So here is my question, Chocolate Lab Lover and anybody else. Would you get married if somebody asked you to sign a prenup? Think about it. In this scenario, you have no money. People are like, girl, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I mean, you don't have to say it. Say you married somebody who had a lot of money or more money than you. More money than you. You're like, that's everybody, Dina. Okay. What if, it depends on what the prenup says. Patty, it says what it says all the time. It says that we're getting married, but if we divorce, you go away with your stuff, he goes away with his stuff. But he got all the stuff. Anna says yes to the prenup. I think everybody should have it. Depends on what the terms are. The terms are nothing good for you. First marriage, dated 3 years, married 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days. Second marriage, dated 2 years and still married. Okay, good. I thought that was going to end well. Actually, my financial advisor said to not remarry. I'm in a great relationship with a great man. We live in separate homes and like it this way. Yeah. It was very validating, Wendy. That's the best. What if you're the one with the money? Would you want a prenup then? If I were to marry at this age, I would want a prenup in case it didn't work. I would want to walk away without losing all that I worked so hard for. It's hard. I started dating my husband when I was a junior and he was a senior. We went to college and grad school, kept in touch 6 years while dating other people. After he graduated, we got back together, got engaged, and were married 22 years. Oh, I would wonder why he wants a prenup. Not all prenups are bad. Could say I get spousal support. Yeah. The terms are what you bring in, you take out. And if you make money while in the marriage, is that split? I want a prenup for sure. Yeah. Always prenup, if even marry at all. There are so many variables. I think I'm too like part of my brain wants to have like the hallmark, sweep you off your feet. You meet somebody in a on a cruise somewhere, and you're like, let's just have this whirlwind romance, right? But the other part of my brain is, you have to be reasonable about this. You have had some hard times, and this is none of it. You know what I'm saying? That we just keep being fed like these beautiful movies where we're all swept off of our feet. Yeah, the whole thing. But realistically, you're like, yes, this is what I want. But how will we deal with the logistics of a health insurance that works for me? I'm not big on a copay. It's just so funny. I had to quit watching Hallmark. I know. That's how I feel. I feel like the prenup is preparation for the inevitable breakup. That's what I mean. I don't know. I know it's stupid. But I always think that, I mean, I guess everybody thinks when they get married, it's forever. So why would you make a plan? But it's stupid if you don't. Can I quit my job if I'm married? That would be a great reason to get married. Joan, the copay will kill you. It'll kill you. Hallmark. If you've seen one Hallmark movie, you've essentially seen them all. Yep. I've learned why people that have been married since being teenagers, you know, renew their vows. They are different people. They've matured together, and the marriage is better. Of course, the renewal should be in a tropical place. Obviously. Is a prenup just a way to weed out the gold diggers anyway? I mean, yeah. But here's Alejandra. I think she's saying it to me, and she's winking. I don't mind marrying to help a friend out with some health benefits. I think that's how she said. She wrote it, but that's how I read it. She was like, it is our anniversary next month. My 23-year-old daughter told me yesterday she either has to start paying to have insurance or go back to school. She's choosing to go back to school. Well, there's a reason to stay in school. You know what? You're right. It's like $1,300 a semester. That's so much cheaper than I pay. Maybe I'll just go back to school. Maybe I'll become a doctor. Why? For the health benefits. And then I can fix myself. I'm fiercely independent, so I would absolutely sign a prenup as long as it says that I get something if he's the reason for the breakup. It's so crazy. I feel like everybody kind of knows a couple in their lives that, and I think that this was more common in an older generation. But do you guys remember there was a time where like you would see like an older couple and they just straight hated each other? You know what I'm talking about? This might have been one of my grandparents. Hated. No love lost. Like, have you ever heard of those stories? A friend of mine kind of helps older people in her community. Like she'll pick up groceries for them, runs errands, da. And one of the scenarios, the wife lived in the house. The husband lived in the shed out back. and he'd been there for years. She would let him in to shower. That's it. Otherwise, he slept in the shed. He had a TV out there. His bed was out there, and he had a lovely life. He loved it. And they were both older. They were both in their 80s. One day, boom, she very quickly dies. But she did everything. She took care of everything in the house. So when she died, my girlfriend was like, I had to go over and I was like, you can come in the house now. And he was like, what do you mean? She's like, nobody lives here. You can move into this. So he moved into the house. Now he thinks he lives in a mansion. It's a tiny little house. He's like, this is amazing. But he doesn't know how to do anything. So she goes over there, helps him with his bills, the whole thing. My friend's mother lived in a poisonous, loveless marriage just because she wanted the house. So dumb. I know, Bobby, he's getting a shot today. My neighbors who did that, husband lived in a camper in the yard. I know, Cheryl, that's what I mean. Everybody got something that works for them. My mom is 80 from the generation where you don't leave your significant other. She hasn't been happy for years, but she would never leave him, right? My in-laws, there are glimpses of love, but mostly it's a lot of bickering. They've been married 59 years, and they are both in their 80s. It is. It's pretty interesting. My great-grandparents' papa had a den, and Mimi had the living room. Both weren't nice to each other. It's very funny. And I feel like things have shifted, right? Because like my grandmom's generation, right, they weren't educated. They married at 16, babies at 17. It's very different. And like you're saying, Tim, my mindset is this is it. And it's very funny. At some point, women were like, I would rather die alone in a box. They said there are more and more women. Most divorces now are being filed for by women. But what if you're dating and your ex is living in the backyard? I've heard people say that they're dating and they're still living in the house with their ex because they can't afford to move out, or it's just better for their kids if they stay in the same house. And some of them are fine with it. It's like the Wild West. My uncle lived in a basement for years. My dental hygienist lives away from her husband. Happily married, he has a cabin about 3 hours away. She visits on the weekend, and when Sunday rolls around, she's more than ready to head home. Sounds magical. Mark and I are roommates, but I am also a caretaker, said Joey Joe. I did not know that. I just shop. It's heartbreaking. So expensive to get cheap insurance, and it doesn't. Tammy, girl, I see you. Yeah. No, Amy, you have to look up that burned haystack method. Look it up. The stories on there, crazy. I know, Alejandra. It's Lulu. Where's Smurgen Gurgen? I haven't seen her in a while. I know Bob keeps in touch with her. I know someone who lives in the same house with the ex-wife and her new husband. Wow. Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is, according to the New York Times, there's lots of different options on the table. If you are looking to change your marital status from married to single or unmarried or divorced or separated or don't want to stand near the opposite sex, I don't know. There's so many. They all mean the same thing. My dad passed almost 20 years ago. She's been with my stepdad for 16 years. They won't get married because mom is getting dad's survivor benefits. And Papa agreed to stay married to his ex so she can keep her TRICARE benefits. Right? There's a lot of things to think about. My friend's daughter inherited a house that she's fixing up to move into. She mentioned she is asking her boyfriend to move in with her. No, bad idea. What if it goes south? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Chris Monty, are you here? Do you have pants on? I know that's a weird thing to say, but every time I try to bring people on the show, they never have pants on. Let's invite Chris Monty. See if he wants to chat. You guys would love Chris. Someone explain the difference between unmarried. Nobody knows, Rusty. The options are I can be married or I can be separated, single, unmarried, or divorced. I get to choose. Or I just don't like to stand next to people. I don't know. Oh, Jenny. Yeah. Seems like healthcare is a major factor in so many scenarios. That's what I mean. And somebody said that they just started to let you start adding people, even if you're not married. Yeah. Yeah, Wendy, it is. It's good. Anyway. So, is unmarried with a long-term partner, but not married and singles alone? I don't know. I know, Carmen. After I divorced my first husband, he was married twice after me, and they were both named Mary. The second wife died. Wow. Nobody knows how this conversation started. It's a mystery how we get anywhere. Anyway, so listen, everybody. I'm most likely going to be napping today because I stayed out till 2 a.m. and I'm old. So I hope you have a great day today. I'm going to be bebopping over here, getting a haircut of some kind. Who knows what this will look like tomorrow. And then getting ready to head out tomorrow for a corporate conference. So next week will be pretty fluid because I'll be working in the morning. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it for me. So, yeah, I'm going to try to be more awake tomorrow. Let's go get bacon, egg, and cheese tomorrow. Write it down, everybody. So anyway, so like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrews say, do something nice for yourself or others today. I know, Sarah, my mom always here, except for next week, in which case I'm not, because I might be working a different job, but we'll see. But have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. As always, great day and a blessed day. I look forward to seeing you in the morning. All right, have a good one. Bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.